Yeah, how's Danny going, man?
She's good, man. She's good. I saw her on the weekend and I got with her.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah.
Good form.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a bit of a looker, eh?
It's not bad, man. Oh man, speaking of the devil, you wouldn't believe who sent me a photo. Look at this one.
Oh shit, yeah. Like, can you send that?
No worries, man.
The video clip you just saw was a little scenario that my friend and I created for the purpose of this assignment. Conversations like this are incredibly common amongst youth, particularly in males. To most viewers, this probably came across as a typical male conversation that is relatively harmless in nature. But I'm here today to show you how something so blasé and casual can have potentially catastrophic outcomes. Sexting can be defined as the sending of sexually explicit photos, images, text messages, or emails by using a mobile phone or other mobile devices. It is a trend that is becoming increasingly common amongst predominantly our youth. Most people see it as a fun way to further enhance sexual experiences with other people, however, are often unaware of the dangers associated with it. Today I will be discussing some of the issues that arise from this latest phenomenon. Sexting is often perceived as a perfectly harmless activity that many teenagers partake in. However, the consequences of sexting when it goes wrong are really quite the opposite. Sexting has the potential to have the people involved in the spreading, receiving, or sending slapped with incredibly severe consequences. Depending on the age of the people involved, sexting can lead to child pornography charges. These charges are a serious detriment to have for anyone and can have horrific consequences on people, including incredible difficulty getting employment in the future. It also means that the perpetrator can receive a criminal record and may be registered as a sex offender, potentially for the rest of their life. For this video, I went out and interviewed 20 people between the ages of 17 and 20 and asked them a series of questions relating to sexting and recorded their responses. I found it incredibly confronting to see the similarity between the answers I received. Here is an interview of one of those 20 people. Have you ever been involved in sexting, or have any close friends that have been involved in it?
To be honest, I have. I received and sent out a few photos back in my day, but I guess at this age it's just the normal. So yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say so. Yeah.
Fair enough. And are you aware of any of the dangers of sexting? And if so, what are they?
Not really. I mean, I know if you just send a photo out, anyone, it can get into the wrong hands, and obviously being dealt to different people you don't want to be sent to, or people who don't want to receive it. So
yeah,
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. And do you know of anyone in particular in your life that has had their life affected in a negative way from sexting, and what happened in their case?
A friend of mine received a few photos from a girl he knew, and he passed them around as you do back in the day, but she found out about it and wasn't too happy. But I mean, it's all cleared up now, but it was a problem back in the day.
Okay.
It's been all good now, so yeah.
Yeah. It is clear to me that our youth are unaware of the consequences that can arise from sexting and have evidently never thought too far into it. However, I do not believe that this is necessarily their fault. After I conducted the initial stage of interview, I briefly discussed with the interviewees of some of the penalties that can be given out from the involvement of sexting. This next snippet is a response from an interviewee after hearing this additional information. After hearing the potential consequences associated with sexting and the punishments that can arise from being involved with them, do you now think that next time you'll think twice before sending or receiving content of this nature?
It's definitely made me think twice about doing it in the future. I mean, after hearing about the consequences associated with it, I'm gobsmacked really. And I mean, child pornography, I haven't really thought about it much, but it can happen to anyone. You can send one text and you could be done for it, so yeah.
It is also becoming increasingly apparent to me that the education that youth receive in respect to sexting and the consequences that can arise from it are simply not up to scratch in our schools. Having compulsory seminars on this topic for all school students, especially between the ages of 16 and 18, could be a potential solution in reducing the number of youths that are getting involved in this new trend. Hopefully they will feel much less inclined to ask, demand, spread or share photos or video messages in the future. In an article I read earlier called Sexting Teens, Decriminalising Young People's Sexual Practices, discusses the inconsistencies with the current legislation for this new area of law. For this reason, I can't stress enough to my peers and people who are subject to sexting to think twice before becoming involved, as the consequences are potentially devastating.